why the
Why?
game is free.
Oh,
Why you spend so much time both on working on the lore, on the design, then the artwork, and then like hooking all this up, and then the expansion. Why do you allow people to get this for free instead of to be paid for the experience?
the very simple reason is that I want people to play the game and I want it to be accessible to everyone. It's similar to actually how current Netrunner is, that was taken over by community after the company stopped producing the game. The community allows you to go to tournaments with proxy cards, and they would provide proxy cards for you too if you wanted. Because the whole point of the game is not to gatekeep people who are behind any sort of financial thing. That's another reason why it's not a trading card game, is because a lot of those games have to do with, in order to get the best card, I'm gonna have to pay $1,000, or like, I have to like really construct a deck to be competitive if I want to. I want uh, the poorest person in the world to be a competitive player if they want to be, right? So one of it is just making sure that it's accessible. The second is, as I've already mentioned, I'm really lucky to be privileged enough to be able to make this game. And I say that not lightly, because it is difficult to make games. It is difficult to put your time and effort and money into it, um, to not really usually get a return unless you make this a full-time thing. And even if you do make it a full-time thing, you're not making too much money unless you are the top of the top. And so I went into this telling myself from the beginning, I want people to be able to play this game however they want. If they want to support me and they want to support the game, they have options to do so. Um, I want to make more options to do so. I want to make it so if you're really enjoy the game and you have lots of disposable income and you want to get like recognized for that, that's why there's reward tiers that are high at the Kickstarter level. I want people to be able to play this game competitively, but I also want people to be able to play this game recreationally and still be able to get the same rewards that you would get from a tournament. So an example of that is the playmats. There's two versions of the playmats. They're the same playmat, but one of them has the intact crown, and that's only for people who win tournaments. The only time you can ever get that one
Nice.
is through winning tournaments. But then the Broken Crown edition, anyone can get. So everyone can have the same things. It's just that those who really care about having that little prestige badge can earn it. And it's the same thing with like the cards, like the foils and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we can expand this game to the point where single player progression, or you just playing casually with a friend, will get you the same thing as if you played in a tournament a bunch of times too. Because although you may not get like the prestige badge that you get with the crown, you can still you're still a valuable member of the community if you're playing with a bunch of friends 100 times, And I want to make sure that you can also get like there's this I can't remember what I call them. I call them just full card art versions of the cards where they don't have text on them. They're just the art pieces. Those are going to be things that you can earn by playing online enough, like that type of thing.
Okay. There is a case to be made for making the game paid so that you can earn more and then invest in making
Yes, yeah.
the game more, expand more game, but also market game, reach more people, so like this way get
Yes,
more
yeah.
people. So it's a
That's
weird
what I was
it's a
saying earlier.
weird
Yeah.
way it's a weird way to have your game structured, because they've put so much effort and your whole life, last couple of years of your life at least, into this, and you made so much lore, and you pretty much drown in this like probably every day. And like like I would wish for you to get more uh, resources to be doing this for the longer periods
Mhm.
of time.
And that's why I'm here, is because you're helping me. No, I'm kidding. But thank you for everyone who's listening, for listening to me talk this long. But again, yeah, I made that case about how people smarter than me are saying you're doing a disservice to your fans by not investing in that. But there's more nuance to it than just that. I agree with you that if this was my full-time job and passion, then I absolutely would be maximizing it. The fact of the matter is that there's really two paths for me here, or three really. One is continue the way that I'm going, and invest more time in the marketing to help my fans be able to see the game grow. The second is I could sell it I can like find somewhere to really sell the idea, sell the game. Most of the times, from working with publishers, it's around 2 to 5%. If 5%, if you're really lucky, 2% of revenue is what you get as the person who created the game. And that's an option if I want to kind of let it go. But since the basically everything you've heard from me talking about, this is something that I'm really, really detailed about. And so if I was smart, I would focus more on marketing. But what I'm actually passionate about, since this is a piece of art for me, I actually care more about and it's selfish, as you're mentioning. It could actually be more helpful to my fans to not have this like attitude about it, but I also don't think that I would be able to do as much creatively if I was focused on the marketing. Because even if I got a whole bunch of money, I still would be focused on doing the things the right way. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. The money's not the limiting factor for me. It's more of the reason why I'm raising the money is because I want to make sure that I can actually make physical print versions of this without incurring costs within my personal finances. And so um, and that might change, like maybe next week, all of a sudden you'll get advertisements that say the one game that everyone's been talking about on your Facebook feed, and you'll click it, and you yourself will buy 3 or 4 copies of the game. But
I backed.
realistically,
I already
I know,
backed.
I
I
know you
backed
did.
that.
I'm very appreciative of it. I'm just making the joke that I'll go into the full marketing mode. Um, but it's one that's it's an interesting discussion, and one that I'm still reconciling. So
Okay.
I appreciate you bringing it up.
Okay. Uh.
Does that make sense, by the way, in terms of like how like the art aspect of it, or do you
Oh
still
yeah.
think? I'm actually curious about your thought on that.
I see. Let's say, I see an artist in you, and like I see that you really don't care about the marketing part. you you really care about the art part of this art project. Like it's not a game for you. It's not a product for you. Let's put it this way. It's like an art side. So like you thinking in marketing terms for the game, it's already like a sin like activity. you know, that's what I get. And I
For
understand
tax
that.
purposes, this is a business, and I do have a product.
Exactly. Uh, on the other hand, I wish you kind of made this into a product so that you have a stable income, you have a team of players, you have QA people that you can pay some money to test the things, and then you can expand it. And at some point, I get like MMORPG in the world of Nursery in like 5 years. So like that's the that's the thing that can be missing
Hmm.
because of that attitude. But on the other
Yeah.
hand, you spent years on making this distilled experience, and it's cool.
It's
It's
almost my metric of success is that distilled experience rather than the marketing and success of the product.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like you're an artist. Like you don't really care about the material world we live in. You have this thing that you care about, and you have your own success metrics for that.
and the integrity is super important too. As I mentioned, it's like making sure that the art is preserved in the way that makes sense to me. I guess it's a part of me, right? Like at the end of the day, and I do apologize to all my fans out there who wish that I would make an MMORPG. I think you're absolutely correct. And so, I mean, I think a takeaway for it's good that we're having this discussion. I mean, I think it's a really interesting perspective, and you're very forward about it too, which is I think it's nice to hear kind of like the dichotomy there.